Thomas get a touchdown, a rushing touchdown. What can you say about him and Peyton Barber, some of the running backs we don't know yet?
They really matured since last year. I mean, last year they had me and Corey to look to, but I mean, this year they had to really step up, and so far in the spring they've done it.
And so far, how has it been for you as you wait for this draft to approach and the next step in your professional career?
It's been a long process. I mean, it's all coming to an end in a couple of weeks, so I'm just trying to enjoy it, take it day by day, stay in shape.
All right, well, thanks for your time, Cameron.
Yep.
Cameron Artis-Payne, a good one, and so is Sean White, who started off with a pass completion.
And that's what he's known for. He's a dynamic young passer. Out of a passing offense in high school.
Boy, and you know, Andre, they're going really, really fast. Peyton Barber gets the carry there, and they normally do this, but with a young guy, I think this is something that Gus Malzahn probably wants to see how he can handle this kind of tempo.
How can he react when you speed things up? He talked to us yesterday. We had a chance to talk to Sean White, and he said the one thing he learned was the entire playbook. It helped him to learn the offense, redshirting last year. So now it's just react, read and react, and you're starting to see that here early in his time on the field. Speeding things up, he's reacting, completing passes, and making the right reads.
First down of the afternoon. And White, much like Jeremy Johnson, now 2 for 2 as he finds Jason Smith.
He's an interesting story in his own right. A junior college quarterback who about day 3 came to Gus Malzahn and said he wanted to make the switch to a full-time receiver, and he's done a nice job in doing so.
And again, make it 3 for 3. That's his second completion to Myron Burton, the 6'2" redshirt freshman out of Lawrenceville, Georgia.
One thing Rhett Lashley told us about Sean White and Jeremy Johnson is that this coaching staff on both sides of the ball feel like they've got 2 guys that they can go in on Saturdays and win football games with.
White going to work on 3rd and 1. Up the middle it goes to Peyton Barber for another first down.
I don't know if fans really realize just how much input defensively that Will Muschamp might have, and he's looking at the quarterback position as well. Who's executing against my defense? And when you get in a staff room, all those comments and observations seem to come out.
You make a great point, Andre. It's also, Will might be able to say to Gus, this is something that gave us fits. How do you do that? And the knowledge that they share. White throws that one into the bench. Has something that I think has helped both guys as they call plays on their respective side of the ball.
He's kind of joking about it. Will says Gus will come in, shut the door, and just let out a long sigh. He says, "Oh yeah, I've been there, brother. I've been in that seat before."
That's exactly right. First incompletion of the afternoon for either quarterback. Makes it 2nd and 10. White, the pressure got to him that time. And the quarterbacks have got those colored jerseys on so they don't get hit, but it also results in our first penalty flag. Did Gus call that penalty? I see him pointing down.
I have been in that chair right there where
75 offense, penalties decline, 3rd down.
That the whistle blows and you feel like there's no way I would have been sacked, and the ball comes out for a big completion. But Martravius Adams working inside defensively is the guy that forced the pressure on Sean White.
Saw Malzahn. He takes his position behind the offensive huddle. Holding is the call, and a nice play in the open field.
On bringing this offense to life this year, guys.
Great point, Maria. Von Robinson back to work. And Andre, you can speak to this as you've been part of teams before. You didn't have to worry about this, but
oh yes, I did.
But the guys that were playing behind you, because the coaches were telling us, about a year or so ago, they could have just as easily handed the keys to this car to Jeremy Johnson.
I tell you what, and what he's done is respond to competition. There's always someone pushing you, and you can't have a day where it's a bad day of practice. Especially at that position when you're competing, you've got to be on each and every day, because the leadership that kind of filters down throughout the team, they're looking for Jeremy Johnson on days when they're tired, and he can't show it. He's got to have everybody practicing at a level that he's at. And so I think he's done a heck of a job this spring. And he has shown well today.
White stands in there. Maybe the reason he's done such a heck of a job this spring is because that young man 13 is breathing right down his back.
For me, it was David Klingler each and every day. And you talk about a tremendous athlete, was right there on my coattail each and every day. So you talk about being pushed. Sean White is doing that to Jeremy Johnson.
Flag on the play.
Before the snap, false start, number 67 offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
I believe that's the second penalty of this first quarter against Team Tiger. They had that holding penalty on the last series. That'll make it 1st and 15 from the 39. Ron Robinson there in the backfield in front of his head coach, Gus Malzahn. Here's Robinson.
The order of business for Javon Robinson is going to be protections, executing without the ball in your hands. The coaching staff, they know that they turn around and give him the football coming downhill. He's a big physical back. Those are things that he can do. He catches the ball well out of the backfield as well. It's protecting the quarterback that's going to be the chore for Javon Robinson. And he's a little bit behind these other two backs, Rock Thomas, who's been in the program for a while, Peyton Barber, who's been in the program. He just got here, in January, so he's playing catch-up, but boy, is he a good physical-looking player.
Coaches say he's as big of a back as they've ever had here. In the last 2 years at the junior college level, almost 3,200 yards rushing and 48 touchdowns. Wow. 3rd and 15 now for young Sean White. Trying to get a matchup on the outside. Having his say as well. And White looking to get his squad into the end zone for the first time this afternoon as they take over at the 45-yard line. Out of the backfield, that's Jason Smith. And a ball on the ground. Let's see if that was blown dead. And this Auburn secondary coming up to make some plays. And the ball was fumbled out of bounds. It actually got loose. But you saw on the play Austin Dupper up there among those in on the play. And it brings up 3rd down for Sean White. And they're going to say that was a sack. Thanks, Andre. I want to keep you down there and hear what you're seeing down there. That's old territory for you now. White is going to get hit with a sack. Jeremy Johnson on that last possession. A 49-yard completion and then the 36-yard completion to Duke Williams for the touchdown.
Yeah, wanting to see the ball there, Dave, come out just a little bit quicker from Sean White. That pressure, but had a receiver open. You want to check it down as quickly as possible.
This time they go to the outside. That's Gray King, who slipped for just a moment.
Impressive there. They came back with a play, basically the same play to the other side, got pressure off the edge, and Sean White actually able to pick it up and get the ball out quickly.
So that brings up a 3rd and 17. White with a draw play. Big time hit.
And I told you, Dave, I live in the trenches. You guys are the skill positions. You're the prima donna. You have to stay in the box. You're not ready for it down here.
See, I was just going to kind of tee you up. And
she just forgot her towel. That's all it was.
That's what it was. Ricardo Lewis makes that catch. I was going to say, Maria, he couldn't yell that at you.
He wouldn't have.
No.
I've got a great long stride.
You do, even in those designer boots.
Exactly.
That actually cost more than our game check, but we won't say anything else about Abe Divas. Right?
Still fanning himself. We got to get a camera up there.
Sean White back to work again. Marcus Davis on the outside.
Nice smash route combination where the inside receivers go into the corner and the outside receiver sits down. Nice read there by Sean White.
Truth be told, the last thing that Will Muschamp wanted to see, though, was Andre to get out there and start spinning that thing.
Tell you what, you get down there, you start smelling the grass and hear pads popping.
Yes, sir.
The want to comes back, the body just won't respond.
And there's a drop. And that's one of those things you got to tighten up during the spring game. That one was right on the edge of being a lateral or a forward pass.
A lot of plays in this offense. They get the ball out so fast. It's going to be close. In a lot of situations, you have to make sure you're hitting that upfield shoulder of the receiver.
Robinson in the backfield. There's Jason Smith. And to this point in time, Andre, I mean, I don't know how Gus Malzahn feels about it. Trey Matthews in on the tackle. I think if there's a negative that has kind of raised itself above the others is the fact that there have been some drops by the receivers.
Yeah, I think that's the first place they're going to go when they start dissecting the film offensively is the drops that have happened here in the first half.
White fakes one way.
And Coach Gardner, Coach Muschamp, they're really getting after their guys to get lined up faster. They feel like they're just walking around waiting for something to happen. Alignment, assignment, and effort is what they're really preaching to the guys right now. Things that they feel like they can control.
And you know, Andre, except Maria makes a great point, except for the first two series, we really haven't seen either of these offenses go with the accelerator all the way to the floor.
And it really goes to the point that Will Muschamp talked about. Big play over the top to Duke Williams. Myron Burton as well. We just witnessed him catch a touchdown pass. Concerns on the back end. They are going to be solid in the run game and stopping the run. It's the back end that seems to be giving up some plays.
And Will says that he didn't want to use the term easy, but he said the implementation of this change of defense has been much more manageable because he's been through it before and he's got guys he's comfortable with.
Yeah, comfortable with Tavares Robinson, who came over with him from Florida. You really trust him a lot. Lance Thompson coming in to coach the linebackers, coming from Alabama. So some guys that he has some experience with.
Oh my goodness. Fumble recovered by Jonathan Wallace after the catch by Greg King.
Good athlete, Jonathan Wallace, a heads-up play. You see here the fumble, and then Wallace right there, ex-quarterback. Those quarterbacks are a little athletic, you know.
Joshua Holsey put the helmet right on the football and forced that fumble. Rock Thomas bottled up on that carry as Sean White speeds it up. And again, those defensive coaches, they've been going back and forth, Maria. It's been they've been experimenting to see kind of what they've got between the 4-3 and the 3-4.
Well, you mentioned Coach Robinson, who coached the DBs for Auburn, and he came over with Muschamp. And I was talking to him before the game. He said it's been 16 years since he played here at Auburn. He's back at his alma mater, but he told Coach that he wasn't going to go with him anywhere but Auburn. His plan was to stay at Florida. He really enjoyed his time there, but he has enjoyed being back here on the Plains, and he says that ultimately teaching these new guys, installing a new system is what excites him about Auburn.
White threw it up for grabs, and let's see who came down with it. Myron Burton was there. Michael Sherwood was there. And they're going to call it a completion, but had this been a regular game, Andre, I don't know if he gets that pass off.
There's no way, and I think Gus let this one go just to see the end result, to see if Myron Burton could make a play, but I think definitely Sean White would have been sacked there. Looked like it was Elijah Daniel, the defensive end, putting some pressure on Sean White.
Inside handoff, and that's Rock Thomas.
There's another young man, Dave, that's having a heck of an afternoon.
Yes, sir.